I got 10,000 children gardening in 1 week. And here is how. Oh, and by the way, you're tuned in to Extreme Gardening, where we go to the extremes to get you gardening. If you didn't already know, as well as being the presenter of Extreme Gardening, I am also a children's gardener who was once on Blue Peter. Roll the VT.
Okay, well, we're going to start with a 5-star hotel for worms out of a chest of drawers.
God, I've got old. And ever since then, I've been teaching children around the UK how to get gardening. To the point now that I am the UK's #1 children's garden educators. And this week, I find myself on a school tour. But that got me thinking. Now, not only am I going around Colchester educating children, get them gardening, and also be part of the school garden competition in Colchester Garden Festival. That's right, I may have mentioned Colchester Garden Festival last week. Go check that video out right now. The king still hasn't got back to me. Doesn't matter. But this week, as I go around these schools, I want to tell you about a time when I got 10,000 children gardening in just 1 week. Because this is actually the 3rd anniversary of that time. And you may be saying, Lee, why are you going back all those years? Because getting 10,000 children gardening in that 1 week was not an easy mission. And may be a mission that you don't even know about. And so I thought I'd come on here and tell you about it. So back in 2020, I went on another school tour. I know. So many school tours. Where my mission was to get 10,000 children gardening in just 1 week. Sponsored by a supermarket, I went around the entire UK in just 1 week, visiting 15 schools. And we got 10,000 children gardening in that week. This all happened before that time that we all got affected by in 2020, which I don't want to mention. Which probably made this time even more special, really, because since then, we've never been able to do something so big, but I would love to. So as we travelled around the country, we got children to sow their seeds. We got all of the children out on a cold March morning and got them sowing seeds. And honestly, it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I always describe it as being like Jesus on the back of a pickup truck throwing seeds out at children. And some people laugh at that and some people not so much. But one of the things I found which was absolutely incredible was the amazing teachers that we met along the way. These teachers that we met were the absolute pinnacle of what children's gardening is all about. These are the heroes, the unsung heroes that get out there and really teach our children how to get gardening. They are the people that have shaped everything I've done in the last 3 years of school gardening. And the people that my School Garden Success Plan, available right now, and these are the people that my School Garden Success Plan is shaped around and built up on. It was from this incredible week that my whole thought process around school gardening changed. Because I'm like an influencer. I'm not, but I mean, just stop the music for a second. I was in a school today, right? And a little boy asked me, "All right, how many subscribers you got?" Which is a great time for me to say, "Please subscribe." And my answer was, "My friend, it is not about the numbers. It is about the creativity that we produce. It is about being free and being able to go gardening whenever you want. It's about spending time with your family and friends. Because time, my friend, that is the real currency. And those numbers, well, hopefully if you subscribe they'll go up. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, as any influencer, I get given loads of products to be given out to schools and children, and which is great, right? Thank you so much to brands that do that. But one of the things that I learned throughout this week was that doesn't help. It doesn't help schools. Because what I was doing was rocking up back of a pickup truck, like, you know, him, saying, "Here you go, here's some seeds, here's some products, see you later." And that really doesn't work. Because then the teachers are just left with like, what? Another thing that I found was that at some points we'd be in amazing countrysides, looking over fields and goats and veg plots. And then the next minute we'd be in an inner city school with just tarmac. And the contrast was incredible because we've got schools which have so much space and schools with no space, and yet we expect them all to do the same thing. Oh yeah, just go put an allotment over there. At some points we had between 200, 600, some 800 children outside, all sowing seeds. And by the end, I was left with one question. You see, I've been now doing children's gardening for 10 years. And that's amazing, right? Like, I love doing it. But the biggest question I've always had is, how do we get children gardening? How do we get kids at schools gardening? And as I've been on this merry ride of being a skinny jean gardener, I've sort of expected someone else to come along and sort it out. I've sort of expected someone to do some sort of research, right? And make it happen in school. And I come away from that experience of getting 10,000 children gardening with more questions than answers, which then eventually made me create School Garden Success, which is basically a plan that we're putting all over the UK that works in any size school, whether you've got fields, whether you've got a tarmac playground. A plan that supports teachers at its core, because they are the ones getting out there and getting our children gardening. And what it made me realise was I can't wait for other people to sort this out. Being the UK's leading, what did I call myself? Being the UK's leading children's gardening educators, I actually won an award the other day for that, so just saying. I've got to make a difference. I've got to have some sort of legacy over these next few years of children's gardening, teaching our children how to grow their own, having something for the next generations to be able to get outside. And from that very point, when we got 10,000 children gardening, the new mission was set. And so sometimes you may hear me on here talk about School Garden Success and how we're getting children gardening even more, because at my core it's my passion, it's my end goal to what I do in this business. And I'm very proud of that time in 2020, and maybe you want to watch the full documentary, there's a link in the description. But for now, if you want to find out more about my journey in school gardening and School Garden Success, please check out schoolgardensuccess.co.uk. Right, I suppose I better get back to the tour I'm doing right now.